Hello students. So in this chapter we are going to start with recursion. So before going through the theory of recursion, I would like to introduce you with this concept that what exactly the recursion is. So right now I'm not going to talk about the definition of recursion, but I would like to tell you that the prerequisite of this topic is the storage classes and the functions. So if you have gone through the videos of functions and storage classes very effectively, then it will be very easy for you to understand this concept, right? So recursion is a kind of function itself. So what exactly we do in function? We make a block of code. We make a block of code, and inside our main function, if we want to calculate something, then I can call this block of code. It will calculate or do computation, and it will return the answer again in my main function, right? So what exactly we have done, so let me erase this. So in the function calling, what we were doing is, so I have suppose written a function int add int a and int b. At that time I have told you that here int c equal to a plus b, and you are going to return c, right? And inside my main function int main, I am going to call this add by using some kind of argument or constants. So here I have used 1 and 2 constant, but you can also use scanf and then take 2 arguments from user and like say add n1 and n2 or something like that, and you can assign this value to some other variables, say x, and x equal to this, and you can print the value of x, right? So you can print the value of x. This is not the exact code, I am just writing the pseudo code. So this is how a function is doing. So first it will execute this line, then come to this line. When it understands add, it does not recognize what exactly the add is. So what it will do, it will find the definition of add from the starting of the function and go to control goes over here. It will just perform entire and computation by copying the value 1 to a and copying the value 2 to b, and perform this addition, return the value to this x. So this answer is written over here. So here the answer will become 3, and it will just print 3 on the screen. This is how the function works. Now what is the difference between function and recursion? So recursion is a kind of a function only, but it will be used when you call function itself inside the definition. What exactly I am telling you, that here suppose I am writing a function int add int a and int b. So right now I am just telling you, now if inside this definition I am using this add function, then it is called as recursion, right? So here I can do something like this. So if I am writing it something like this, it will not be correct program. I am just giving you an example. So if I am writing add say 3, 4 over here. So here you can see that this add function is again being called inside the function definition itself it will be called in main as well as in function, then we call it as recursion. So if this is the function block, right? So if this is function 1 and inside main I am calling this function and this function is calling itself again and again, and once it encounters some kind of terminating condition, that will be false, it will return to here, right? So that is called as recursion. So recursion is nothing but the function that call itself, right? So if I give you an example of recursion, then how exactly it being done, then you know the factorial, right? So how can you find the factorial? So suppose you want to find factorial of 5, which is nothing but 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. But what if you want to write this in form of recursive formula? You can write that factorial of 5 equal to 5 into factorial of 4, because here you can see that this 4, 3, 2, 1 is nothing but the factorial of 4. Now what exactly this factorial of 4 is? So if you see, this factorial of 4 is nothing but, you can see these conditions. Let me use different color for this. So if you just see this is nothing. If you see this highlighted part, this is nothing but factorial of 3. So here instead of this you can directly write, let me use another color for this. So here it will be 4 into factorial of 3. So in short, factorial of 5 become 5 into 4 into factorial of 3. Similar way, for factorial of 3 also I can use for factorial of 3 equal to 2 into 1. So this is the recursive formula, and how much time it will run until this become, or say until this become 1. So until this become 1, I am going to call this function. So what exactly is being done? I have made one function named as factorial or fact, right? So my function name is fact. I am passing argument n over here. Here it will check if n equal to 1. So if the value of n is 1, then it will be directly returning 1. Otherwise it will, else in the else part it will call n into fact of n minus 1. So what is happening when I am writing fact of 5? So it will just check if this 5 is equal to 1 or not. So let me use another color. So if this 5 is equal to 1, no, the condition is false. So it will go to this else. Inside this else I have written n into fact of n minus 1, that is 4. Now before going through the main, it will not go through the main, it will just call fact of 4. So now this will call fact of 4. So n become 4. So 4 equal to 1 or not? No. So what it do? It will go to this else and it will print here. Instead of this, it will call 4 into fact of 3, right? Now again for this fact of 3, it will call fact of 3 again. So here it will be fact of 3. So here it will do n into, that is now new n is equal to 3 and fact of 2, right? Now again for fact of 2, it will just call 2 over here. So fact of 2 is being called, which is nothing but else part. So it will return 2 into fact of 1. Now n become 1. So for this one, when it is n is 1, this condition is true. So it will not go to else, it will go to this, and here instead of this it will return false. So at this place I am going to be returned as 1. So now this become 1. Now it will multiply all of this, right? All of this will be multiplied. How? First 1 is multiplied with 2, then 2 is entire answer is multiplied with 3, then 4 and then 5. So answer return is 120. But here you can see I am calling factorial function inside the function. So graphical representation is like this. Fact of 5 is calling fact of 4, which is calling fact of 3, which is calling fact of 2, which is calling fact of 1, and this one is returning 1 over here. So as 1 is being returned, here it will return it to this and then come to this. So it will be returned where it is called. Finally it will come to here and this will come to my main function and give me an answer. So first let me show you the theoretical part of recursion, and then after we will perform the same factorial program in order to understand recursion practically. I hope you understand this concept. Now let's go to my PPT section and we'll see the theoretical part of recursion. So in C programming language we can create a function which call itself. So the function can call themselves. So this kind of calling the function itself is called as recursion, right? So you can see the theoretical part over here that in C it is possible for a function to call themselves. A function is called recursive function if the statement within the body of a function calls the same function. Sometimes it is also known as the circular definition or circular function, right? Now what after that? So here I have given the program of factorial. You can see that I am naming the function as rec, and inside that I am passing argument x. So it is every time it is checking if x is equal to 1, then it will return 1. Otherwise it will just return x into recursion of x minus 1. So we are going to perform this program and it will give me the similar output that have been shown over here. So don't worry about that. This is the code for recursive function. Now care should be taken while writing a recursive function. What care should be taken? So recursive function can be an infinite loop if we are not giving any particular terminating condition. So I have shown you that factorial will stop calculating the factorial, the recursive function will stop calculating the factorial once it encounters that the value of n is 1. So at that time I have written 1. So I am returning some kind of constant value instead of calling the function itself. So we have to put some terminating condition in order to stop the recursion. Otherwise my program will be in infinite loop. So what care should be taken? The recursive function always contain one or more terminating conditions. That is a condition when recursive function is processing a simple case instead of processing the recursion. So in that condition, the terminating condition, recursive function is giving me some kind of constants or some a simple processing instead of calling the function itself. So that we have already seen, and we are going to see it through the practical as well. Now without the terminating condition, the recursive function may run forever as an infinite loop until my stack will be full. Now what exactly this stack is, that you are going to study in your higher semester subjects, so don't worry, but it will run until it has some kind of space to hold that variable, right? So the previous multiply function or the recursive function, it will do n equal to 1 is kind of terminating condition. Now let's go to my IDE and we will see that how exactly you can implement this recursion using your practicals, right? Hello student. So here now we are going, we are inside my IDE. Now we are going to perform the practical factorial. So let me first open new source file, Ctrl+N. Inside this I am writing include stdio.h and then into main, and inside that I am writing return 0, right? So this is very common for all programs. Now this practical I am going to perform, in this practical I am going to perform the factorial of a given number. So what is the usual program to find the factorial? So I am going from scratch to the recursion so that it will be easy for you to understand. So if I want to find recursion, if I want to find the factorial, I am taking one iterative variable, then I am taking one variable and then I am going to ask user printf enter the value of n, and here scanf, then %d, and here it will be and n, right? Now I am running a loop for I equal to 1 or say I equal to 1, I is less than or equal to n, I plus plus, and here I am writing, you know, mul equal to or f equal to f into I, right? So here I am taking another variable f and initializing it as 1. I hope you guys have gone through this program so that you know the logic behind this, and at the end of this program I am writing factorial of a given number, percentage d is percentage d, which is n and f, right? So this is the program to find the factorial. Let me save this program as recursion, and then if I just, you know, compile this program, it is having some kind of error. Okay, extra comma was there, so compile it and run it. Now if I am entering 5, you can see answer 120 is coming, so our program is correct. But here I have not used any function or recursion. Now I have shown you that if you want to perform this practical using any kind of function, what you can do, you can just, you know, create a function int fact. Inside this function you are passing one argument n, and here you are writing something like this, right? So here instead of this and what we are going to do, enter the value of n. This I am going to take inside this. So now I am going to call int. Here I am taking int f1. You can also take f, but I am taking f1, and this f1 equal to, say, this f1 is equal to fact of n. So whatever value is entered by user will be added to this, and here instead of n I am taking a. You can also take n, but I just want to avoid any kind of confusion, so that's why I am taking n. So what is going to be happen? Value of n entered by user will be copied to value of a. Now it will perform recursion for this value, and at the end it will return value of f. And here instead of here I am going to print f1. So let me save this program again, compile it. It is throwing me an error because n is not declared over here. Okay, I have to declare n. Let me save the program again, compile it and run it. What is another issue? Okay, I have to put semicolon over here, right? So these are some silly mistakes. So you have to know that how to overcome those errors, right? So if I am entering 5 again, I am getting the similar output. Now this program is also not known as recursion because inside this fact I am not calling fact again. So this program is using function but not using recursion. So what if I want to convert it to recursive program? So what I am going to check, I am going to check if value of a equal to 1 or not. So if it is 1, then I am going to return 1 only, because factorial of 1 is 1 itself. So that's why if a is 1, then it will return 1. Otherwise, if it is not, then in the part of else I am going to return a into fact of a minus 1 and then colon, and then at the end we do not need to write anything. So in my one function I can just use one return. So here either this return can be return value or this return can be executed. Here it will be return this, right? So either this return will be executed or this, but at the same time two return cannot be executed, so you have to write code in that way, right? So what exactly is being done over here? Let me just save this program again and compile it and run it. If I am entering 5 over here, you can see I am getting the similar output, that is 120. So our program is correct, but now I have written it as recursive function. So I hope you guys have understand the logic over here or the difference over here, that inside this main part I have not changed anything. So if you know that how to perform the program using function, then it will be easy for you to convert it inside using recursive function. So as you can see here, I have a fact is calling fact again, but for different number. So first it was called, so let me open my, in my IDE, you can see that first it was calling a fact of 5, then inside fact of 5 it is again calling fact of 4. So 5 into factor 4, so that factor 4 again calling factor 3, factor 2, factor 1 until it encounters this terminating condition. For factor 1 it will return 1, so my answer, it will come to factor 2. So let me open my Word file again so that it will be very easy for you to understand. So here what exactly I have done here, first fact of 5 called fact of 4. So it called 5 into fact of 4, it called 4 into fact of 3, it called 3 into fact of 2, it returned 2 into fact of 1. Now this fact of 1 returned, this fact of 1 returned 1. So it multiply this and return answer 2 over here. So it will multiply this 3 into 2. So answer is 6 written over here. So now it will multiply 6 into 4. So answer is 24 written over here, and then it will multiply this. So answer is written as 120 as answer of fact of 5, and this will return inside my main function, right? So this is all about the finding factorial using the recursive function. I hope you guys understand this concept. If you have not understand, please go through this video again and try to implement this by yourself. If you are correctly implementing it, then it will be very easy for you to understand. If you have any doubt, you can comment below the comment section and ask me, and see you in the next class. Thank you so much.